Hello and welcome, we are Group 23. In this video, we will present the game Clash of the Beasts as our second assignment for Game Design Principles. We made a tabletop game in which you play as a king, referred also as the boss, and 10 champions in a battle that will decide the fate of the lands for generations to come.
With some randomness in the game, we help make our game different, making you react in a different pattern every time. We ensure that even with our randomness, there will be a lot of meaningful decisions starting from the first moment of the game, where the player will be handed 6 cards from which they need to choose 3 and give the other 3 to the enemy, as well as how and when they should move.
Clash of the Beasts is built up by many different components. Mainly, we have a deck of cards containing 20 heroes, 2 bosses and 6 PvE enemies. All of them share 3 attributes: health, defense and damage. However, heroes and enemies have individual abilities. Finally, heroes are the only characters that have a range of attack. Consequently, we have the board. This one has 2 main cities which each player must protect, 2 respawning beacons, a PvE area in the center, and paths which connect each location. In addition, the game brings a smaller board where the players are able to place the cards, a dice to move the characters and attack, tokens which represent the heroes of the players in the board, and finally a paper and pencil in order to register the health of the enemies. Many implicit challenges are encountered throughout the game. As it is a PvP, difficulty is settled by the skills and strategies of the players. Therefore, the challenges aren't uniform as they are unpredictable and may vary in each game. During the gameplay, the player may confront with several logical and exploration challenges. The player must keep track of their own and enemies' movements. 2 main treasures are found in the game: parallel tasks, as the player must undertake multiple challenges simultaneously, and failure cost. The slightest mistake may impact the player negatively.
As players adopt the avatar of a boss they have chosen, controlling the boss and champions alike. In Clash of the Beasts, there are only 2 players in each game interacting on the board by fighting one another, with the objective of the game being killing the enemy's boss. Both players will try to capture a spawn point where their champions can come onto the playing board at the beginning of the game, and from there they will try to kill the PvE monsters, take the other respawn point, and reduce the opponent's champions so they have a greater chance of winning the game. The strategy being a big part of the game because not all heroes are made the same, some being restricted to only attack in a 1 block radius, and we have to be careful as bonuses that are dropped from PvE monsters are given only to the champion who hits the PvE monster last, and are not beneficial to all champions. The bonuses being the most important resource in the game are not transmittable by any means. With the bonuses comes another change in the game, where the seasons will change clockwise right after killing the PvE monster, making you think twice if the new season isn't going to make it harder for you to win.
When including movement around the board into our game, we avoided roll and move, as this is a lackluster way to include movement into board games. Nevertheless, we still included rolling the dice to give the players choice on how they want to move. Meaningful play is incorporated into our game by allowing choice and deep strategy to be the main components of the game. The use of elements on the board lets the game have a deeper complexity to how it's played. As a group, we knew some players may incorporate some aggression in the way they play. However, the game is designed to reward the player with the best strategy. In the game, the rules were made to avoid any exceptions, to make sure the players do not become confused or start adding their own rules. This in turn allowed us to avoid any player denial and removal of choice, except when choosing how you'd like to move around the board. These were the most vital guidelines we had to follow when designing the rules of the game, as they allow fairness in the way players play. We include the illusion of uncertainty by a simple dice roll. Normal distributions cause the highest amount of jeopardy, making the player think on edge and create strategies. Nevertheless, not all the game is decided by probability, as we didn't want to create an unbalanced game.
As defined by Shell, our game has a discrete linear space as the player can only move forward and backwards, and is played in 2 dimensions, X and Y. Overall, Clash of the Beasts is a turn-based game, where time management and speed are irrelevant skills. This means the game has discrete play.
We provide information through the stats on the cards and the board's design. We purposefully have done this to allow the players to conduct a deep strategy. The information is presented in a clean and precise aesthetic, so you as a player can focus on the task at hand. However, we implemented indirect controls so then the player can change the game state using the systems presented before them to allow them to get the outcome they desire.
A lot of balancing has been implemented in the game. Each hero has its own amount of health, defense, and attack. Some of them will end up being stronger than others. Therefore, we carried out the balance methodology 1. We detected the dominant strategies by looking for transitive relationships. For example, if hero A is stronger than B and B is stronger than C, this means A is also stronger than C. Therefore, why would players use hero C? To solve these problems, we've balanced all players in the way that the ones with greater damage will have less health and vice versa. With this, we also made use of the method orthogonal choices, where each hero excels in a different axis. In addition, we've added natural elements in the board, where heroes can get an extra 10 bonus damage if they match the element in the board. However, if they are in the opposite element, they will have a reduction of 10 damage. This may benefit weaker heroes in many different ways. Each hero has also its own range and ability, widening up the possibilities on the battlefield.
With this, we hope you enjoyed this overview of our project. We are Group 23, and these are the creators responsible for how our game looks.